Giants to go to the Super Bowl. That is what we all just watched. That is what we all just enjoyed, and it has been a long time coming, and I'll bet fans are just feeling at their absolute peak right now. 17-3 is your final. Welcome in to the Buffalo Bills postgame show. I am the Bulldog. Mike Shope is hoping to join us here. There he is. Hey!
Listen, Bulldog, I'll make this short. You're not a West Wing guy, right?
No.
What just happened was the episode where the president, Bartlett's tie got cut because I just connected with you like 3 seconds before we started. Something didn't work. So I'm like, what's wrong? And then suddenly the first words I hear are, let's go. Whatever the words actually are right there. I don't know. But those are not the words.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you're there.
Me too.
We missed each other a few times on some celebrations, it felt like.
Yes.
And most notably maybe the New England game, the Monday night game when you were
How about Tyler Boyd?
And right, well, sure, that of course that's a long time ago now, right?
Oh,
that was
so bad.
That was just to get to the playoffs and end the drought. The Bills just won a game, an ugly, low-scoring defensive struggle to get to the AFC title game, and I mean, just sit in it, soak it in. What a interesting game. What a very different game than what I was anticipating anyway. But what a game by the Bills. What a play by Taron Johnson. I mean, just an all-time legendary Bills play. Like, that play is going to live, whatever happens next week, that play is living forever. That was amazing.
And I feel like I have about 50 more things to learn about it. I mean, everybody's role on that play will mean something. You know, it's a story to write, is what everybody was doing there. The play before is huge. You have the 2 plays in a row by 2 guys on that defense. One, Johnson, who is not a star on the team at all. You know, he's a name on the team that, like, the hardcore fans know well, but a lot of fans probably don't know at all, who's 24. And even with the play he made against the Steelers, NBC viewers know who he is, Taron Johnson, after watching the last few Bills games. Before that is the Hughes play where the Ravens have a sitter of a touchdown if he doesn't break through and force Jackson off his spot there, or just force him to rush on that throw. And Hughes is a guy who goes on the Wall of Fame. I mean, that's a guy that has had just a tremendous career for the Bills that I think now will get its due because the team is finally winning. So you have Hughes on second down and Johnson on third, and that is it for the scoring, right? I mean, that is it.
Right, yeah, that's 17-3, and that's your final, yep.
It's 3-3, and then it's okay, 10-3, and now it's cooking, and then it's first and goal, and second and goal. First and goal, I mean, Baltimore needs a new center, maybe. First and goal is a mess, lots of those. Second and goal is Hughes. Third and goal is Taron Johnson, and that is it. And it's been, you and I have done almost 300 of these post-game shows, almost 300. It's up there. It's close.
That's a number, that's a number.
And now we're looking at the Final Four.
Right.
You think we're up to it?
Yes, I'm 100% up to it. I think the fans are up to it. I think this team is up to it. It was really cool to see them defend the way they defended. I thought they were really smart. Hughes was really smart all game. The whole D-line mostly. And I mentioned it as the week wore on, like how you got to rush Lamar Jackson and how careful you have to be. And he still got out of there and made, and made some plays. But they did a very good job of, like, you go back and if you watch some of those plays again, just watch how Hughes is attacking. Because he's not just trying to beat his guy. He's sort of waiting, and then if he thinks he's got a moment where Lamar is settling down, and he's maybe flat-footed for a second, and then he's attacking. And the whole defensive line tried to play that way, down in, down out. It's hard. It's hard to be that disciplined all the time. And even if you are, Lamar Jackson is so good that he can get out and still make you pay. But the Bills just did a tremendous job defensively in this game on Lamar Jackson. It was a hard game to move the ball, period. The Bills did not have any kind of real offense. They had one drive that resulted in a touchdown, a couple of missed field goals. But the Bills, on a day, I started getting uptight as the game is getting ready to start and they're showing the flags and everything. And I'm just thinking, this is going to be a very tough day to throw it looks like, and that should favor Baltimore. And the Bills just didn't give in.
Yeah, Hughes, he doesn't have 290 games, but he's got a lot. He's got about half that. He's only ever missed one, and I think that was week 17 against Miami, where he was inactive because they didn't need the game. And the guy's just been a prince. He has been a great player for them. I'm this way. I think you probably are too. How could you not be? He's really interesting to listen to, Hughes. He's just the right amount of vocal for me. He's just the right amount of. He's willing to share insight. I think leadership-wise, he's probably all there for some relatively big portion of his career under other coaches. He was probably best known for unsportsmanlike conduct type stuff. Just
sure.
like that one Jerry Hughes penalty.
Yeah, he has an alter ego name. I haven't heard it in a while, and I have forgotten it. Right, but there was like Jerry, and then there was I don't remember. I really don't remember. But does that sound familiar to you at least?
But I'm sure you're
joke
right.
around that a switch flips and he turns into this personal foul taking kind of crazed guy out there, and that's gone. That's long gone. I think.
But he is really kind of the dean of this team. Kyle Williams is gone, and so many of their other stars are young. And you've got Hughes. He goes back to Doug Whaley traded for Hughes. He goes back to 2013. That's not even Marone yet. he's been here a long time. I think that's right, isn't it? Maybe that's the beginning of Marone. Actually, that's what that is.
Yeah, Marone for sure is 13. Yeah,
that's right. So he goes all the way back to that, and that's just a guy. Everybody's happy for themselves. They're happy for their friends and their families and their parents or grandparents who are getting to enjoy another round of Bills winning and all those things. I think I want to include, and that goes for everybody, you and I and everybody we know. I want to include the former players. I want to include the guys who didn't have very much success on this team and still very often try to tap back into it. And, are obviously, Eric Wood comes to mind, other guys like him, many other guys like him who are enjoying. Stevie Johnson is another one, he's enjoying, he's tweeting about them and everything. And Hughes is a guy who goes back to that. So he's somebody when, if I were to make a list of the people that I was happiest for with all this, he'd be on it. That's a guy, I've never met him. We've never even talked to him. But that's a guy I feel really good for. So anyway, there are a lot of those. And this game was pretty fierce,
Yeah.
It was tense and different. But in the end, what matters is the win. 17-3. That's a great score. That's just a great score. And they are now going to watch football tomorrow. So are we.
Yeah. I'm excited to be doing this show. I'm excited to talk to fans eventually. But honestly, I cannot wait to wake up tomorrow. Already. I cannot wait to go to bed. I'm fine. I'm full of energy right now. This is a night in normal times. We'll get done here in a couple hours, and I would want to go somewhere, right? But obviously that's not the way the world is right now. So I'll just unwind and go to bed, and I just cannot wait to sit down and watch football tomorrow. Just knowing it's just so great. I am going to just crush Sunday.
And it is 100%.
All of the Bills fans in the world are going to crush Sunday.
It is 100% go Browns, right?
Oh, God, yeah, sure.
This is the Buffalo, Kansas City would be the game. It certainly would be for us. And I think for fans around the league who've recognized the Bills' season for what it has been, it's for them too. I mean, Cleveland, come on. Come on. These are the two best teams. I was not, before we get too far ahead, I was not sure the Bills were a better team than the Ravens. I was not sure. I didn't want to say it. I mean, both teams had arguments for it. I mean, Baltimore for 2 years has been the best team in the league in point differential. They had a lot of adversity this year, and they had a nice win last week. I don't know. But by the third quarter, for me, by the third quarter, it was clear. The Bills are just a really nice team with no obvious flaws. And the Ravens have a lot to like, but their struggles to throw the ball downfield, which I think have different layers to it. And some people just want to put that all on Jackson. I do not. Their guys don't get open. The coordinator, everything is really tight. They don't use their best players. There's a lot I would change about their offense. But no, whatever it is, they have a very important dimension that's a problem. That's really hard for them. And you have a team there where, hey, it's windy, it's bad for them. They're losing by 10, this is bad for them. All these kinds of particular adversities that by the third quarter of this game, that's when I just flipped a switch to really confident about the Bills. And as far as Baltimore is concerned, not that anybody cares anymore after this game is now over, it's, okay, these are the things you have to do. I mean, your quarterback is great. Get some wide receivers in there that aren't Dez Bryant. That's your idea of a fix at wide receiver. You can't snap the ball. Like, just what a terrible result for them. But the Bills have just a better team, a nice team that can go all the way.
It's a very Sal says it all the time, right? Like, Baltimore got their running yards. And I don't think really, to be fair, either team really was going to do much business in the air. It just looks like it was really, really hard to throw the ball with any kind of accuracy, especially going towards the scoreboard. No, towards the tunnel, I think. Whatever. You just couldn't throw the ball. Every kick was twisting and every throw. Collinsworth even mentioned some of the drops, and I think this makes sense. Gabe Davis in the end zone, I mean, he didn't go back to that to use that as an example, but later in the game, he mentioned how I think the ball is probably playing tricks on these guys. It's hard to pick up on TV, but they think that, it's coming on one trajectory and it changes. So it's tough, tough conditions, and a team like the Bills who throw it. I mean, I was saying that this offense would be best served playing in the Bahamas. You got a home game, but it was not optimal for you. The Bills just could not throw it. And I think maybe because of that, the Ravens just backed off and played coverage because they didn't want to take a chance on getting someone beat one-on-one, because I don't think they were that worried about the Bills hurting them with the pass because you couldn't really throw it.
It does get windy in the Bahamas, but yes. I don't know where it doesn't get windy. The moon? Is it windy on the moon? Where's Greg Bouk? They're not even missing these field goals in these playoff games. They're hitting the uprights. I mean, it's not even just, come on, it's your year. They're not missing these kicks. They're hitting the posts.
Right.
Blankenship and then Tucker twice. Come on. I mean,
right.
That's probably hard to do. If you wanted to do that, that would be hard.
I said to my wife, I'm not like Mr. Fate or anything, right? But, the second kick hits the upright, and my wife does not really care about football. She's just sitting in there to keep me company, so I'm not, all by myself. And the second kick hits the upright. I'm like, this guy might be the best kicker in the history of the league.
Yes.
And I'm like, sometimes it's just your year. Sometimes it's just, this is how it goes, So thank you, uprights. Thank you, wind, I guess. I mean, if it weren't windy, we might have had a very different game. But anyway, I mean, the Bills found a different way to win this game than really they've won any game all year. And to do that in the divisional round of the playoffs is pretty impressive.
Yeah, it is. He is the best ever. And they keep hitting those posts. Wow. Well, we need to hit some posts here. So we'll get out in a second. Look for your calls and have Sean McDermott. Let's do the Skyworks stats of the game first. Skyworks, building America from the ground up, the official construction rental company of the Bills. 17-3 is the final. Josh Allen, 23 for 37, 206, and a touchdown pass to Stephon Diggs, of course. Good enough to win, better take that down. Allen rushing, no factor, 7 for 3. The Bills rushing, no factor. All-time historic lows for just blatant indifference to the running game. And I was crying with joy watching them just eschew the run, play after play after play. Daboll can be the next coach of the Chargers if some other team doesn't fire their coach and hire him first. So good. Singletary, 7 for 25. Yeldon, 2 for 4. Who cares? Whatever. Who cares? Stephon Diggs, 8 for 106 and a score. Just straight money, Diggs. Like, no game script takes Stephon Diggs out of the mix. No amount of wind or
Right.
coverage looks. Diggs gets his 8 for 106 and 1. Bank on it. John Brown. Return of John Brown, 8 for 62.
Hello,
Revenge
John
game.
Brown. Nice to see you, John Brown.
Welcome back. And that's about it. Beasley did not catch a pass. And for the Ravens, Lamar Jackson, 14 for 24, 162, and 1 fateful interception. Rushing-wise, he was anybody. He was just anybody. 9 for 34. I mean, what's that? That's Fitz. 9 for 34. It's just, what's that? That's, I mean, Derek Carr.
It's pedestrian is what it is, yeah. Their two running backs both go 10 for 42. I just noticed that in the stats. Edwards and Dobbins both have the exact same stat line. That's interesting. Yeah, so they get their 150 yards rushing. Marquise Brown catches 4 passes for 87 yards. And,
How close was that to 5 for 170 and 1?
Right. About as close as Allen and Diggs were to 9 for 170 or whatever it would have been. Like the same play, same end of the field, same thing happened. Ball was wide right and too far both times.
Mark Andrews, before you go, 4 for 28.
Okay.
Jackson had 1 miss. All year he's had pressure up the middle, and that can mess with any quarterback. It has messed with him, and there was a play in the first half. Andrews was open for a good gain on the right, and Jackson was short there with the pressure up the middle getting to him. Andrews, I mean, that was a concern, maybe the number one concern about this Baltimore offense. I mean, the rushing game in general, but Andrews is a weapon. The Bills are not always good against tight ends, and his 4 for 28. Want to do the same dance? Who's that? That's Chris Herndon.
It's Lee Smith.
Oh, come on. Well, don't I wish. For the season. For the season without the touchdowns. All right. You've got a giddy post-game show here, folks. We will have Sean McDermott. We will have your calls. 803-0550, 1-888-550-2550. Great to be with you. Mike Shope and the Bulldogs, 17-3. Bills onto the AFC Championship. Time out here. This is the Buffalo Bills Radio Network.
Now these words from Geico.